4th. Because I got to go to Boston for the association, so I wanted to look good for the trip.
Okay.
As good as I could look, you know.
Don't pick up a Yankee.
Huh? Don't pick up a Yankee?
Nobody from Boston.
I hope y'all had a better time than the last time we were in Boston.
Why? What happened?
There was a strike going on.
Well, you know what? I'll be there the day after the
All the
election.
service people.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna be there the day after the
Had a strike
election.
going on while we were there.
Like hospitality.
We're not allowed to start until 6 o'clock in the morning, but every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, they was chanting and hollering, beating drums at the bottom of the hotel every day.
All right, we're gonna kick this off real quick. This is lovely Jamie Brown, she's a part of Alabama. She's gonna be going over what Close with an Impact is, where those donations go, and that way we can better kind of educate our clients on that. So, welcome her.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. I will kind of give y'all just a little bit of information about the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. Some of y'all probably know us formally as the Montgomery Area Food Bank, and so we went through a name change probably about a year and a half ago. So I'm going to ask you all to number off numbers 1 through 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 7. Okay, that'll be important here in just a little bit. Okay, so that's what the 7 is. So what's really important when we think about the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and what we really do, we really are focusing on trying to end hunger. I mean, you know, we're so grateful that we have the wraps and all the things here today, but the reality is our neighbors, we have neighbors in need, people that look just like you and look just like me that are food insecure, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But we are part of the Feeding America network of over 200 food banks across the United States, and they're kind of our overarching. Do you need me to close this door behind me?
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm
you're
good.
You're
Okay,
good, yeah.
good deal.
Yeah.
And so we are located off of Day Street. We have over 90,000 square feet of warehouse space where we're able to distribute food to over 35 counties across the state. So a lot of people don't realize that we serve 35 counties. Now, our food bank directly serves 12 counties, and I'll show those to you in just a little bit. And we're able to do that through our agency partners. And in your folder, I've got some talking points in there. I've got a copy of the Close with an Impact form as well, my card, but it kind of hits some of the high points that I've got up here for you as well. But last year, we distributed over 29 million pounds of food.
Wow.
And that equates to 24 million meals. And so we measure things in pounds, okay? It really is, it's phenomenal when you kind of think about that. So just to give you an example, at the fair, we collected food that first night. We collected over 7,000 pounds of food, which is incredible. And so we're able to get that back into the community, and I'll kind of share that with you. But when we talk about food insecurity, it really is the lack of consistent access to quality, nutritious food for everyone in the household. Not just as an individual, but everyone within that household. So this kind of gives you an idea of where we serve. So the counties in red are those that we serve directly through over 200 food pantries or food agency partners that we're able to do that through. But guys, the reality is there are over 256,000 people just in those 35 counties that are considered food insecure. And I'm going to show you some statistics in a little bit later. And it really is kind of mind-blowing, but I have to tell you, this is what's reported. Okay, this is what's reported. There are individuals that haven't reported their situation. And so we're able to meet the needs of our neighbors through other food banks. So we have a partner food bank located in Auburn. You can see they have a handful of counties that they serve. Our Wiregrass, the Wiregrass Food Bank, as well as Selma and West Alabama. You may have seen a couple of weeks ago the West Alabama Food Bank and the Food Bank of East Alabama. They had that Beat Bama, Beat Auburn, food drive. I love that because it's so impactful. So they're able to do so much with that food. So just to kind of give you some interesting facts, in 2022, there were nearly 38 million people who lived in poverty according to the census. What's interesting is 2/3 of the people facing food insecurity reported income above the poverty level. Okay? And so the 1 in 7 adults and 1 in 5 kids are considered food insecure. So when I numbered you guys off, one of you, number 7? It was number 7.
Me?
Okay. Number 7.
Well,
Well, whoever was number 7.
You're not hungry.
Whoever was number 7. When I say, 1 in 7, just in this room, at least one person. And if we were to do 5, that would be kids. And when you think about it, again, it's people just like you and me that are finding themselves in situations they never either, we can't plan for some things, right? But there are situations that happen that cause us to have that particular need. Some causes of poverty: low wages and unemployment, lack of affordable housing, racism or discrimination, education and health care. And so the effects of all of that leads to that food insecurity, poor health, and poor education. So it's our mission to really make sure that people know where they can get resources, but also we're the ones that are doing the work to get it out there. So how do we work? So basically we acquire food. So food drives are great examples, great ways that we acquire food. We do purchase food. We have organizations that do food drives. Those are always great. So we're able to get food that way. But I have to just brag on our partners. We have amazing partners through Publix, Walmart, Aldi. We're able to get food from them as well. And I just have to brag on Publix because we got a tremendous grant from them recently. They are just amazing. So we acquire the food, so it comes into our warehouse. And I will just say, how many of you have actually been to our location? Okay, so about half of you. Okay, good. How recent was it? Oh, okay.
When Rich Day was still CEO.
Okay. So we've made a lot of changes. So we've changed our inventory system, how we store things and things like that. So I'm just y'all have an open invitation. You say, hey, Jamie, can I come tour? It takes no more than an hour, really like 30 to 40 minutes. But I encourage you to come because I tell people really seeing is believing. But so we safely store that. We sort all of that. We have volunteers that help us sort. We have justice involved individuals that are also with us. And so we partner with Ingram State. Well, that's from the education piece, but we have justice involved individuals from Elmore County that are with us pretty much every day during the week, helping us get that work done as well. So once we have all that, we're going to get it out. So the ways that we get that out are going to be through our agency partners. We have mobile food pantries. In fact, we have one almost every single day of the week across our service area. And that is basically when you have an 18-wheeler pull up. We're testing something today with one of our agency partners. We're testing pre-packaged boxes. The way that we have done this is it may have 12 to 24 pallets of food on an 18-wheeler, and they come, our team comes up, unloads all that, and then whichever organization or agency we're working with have volunteers that are basically, it's like a drive-through, and it's for members of that community. They'll come through and they get free food. Okay, and so we have those a lot in areas of our communities that don't have grocery stores right around the corner. Yeah, there may be a Dollar General, but when you think about the food that you may be getting at a Dollar General, it's not going to be as healthy as what you would get through one of our mobile pantries. So, and then again, we're just making sure that everyone has access to nutritious food because the reality is there's enough food for everybody. We just have to make sure we get it to everybody. So a lot of times people say, well, what's the difference between a food bank and a food pantry? It was interesting because I had a conversation with someone just Tuesday, and they were like, oh, hey, I've been meaning to do this donation and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I was like, well, that's the food pantry. But you can definitely donate with us, but basically we're housing and we're sorting and distributing. We basically distribute the food. Our food pantries are the ones where those individuals within those communities are going to come to that food pantry to get food. And so, again, we have guidelines that we have to follow through Feeding America and USDA, and our partner agencies also have requirements as well. So, How do we serve? We serve basically almost like cradle to grave, if you kind of think about it, all parts in between. And so we have a commodity supplemental food program. This is a senior program, and this is through through the USDA. And then we have a senior supplement program, again, 2 different senior programs. But basically they get boxed dry goods, shelf-stable food, and I think it's like 25 pounds in a box. And then we also provide meat boxes as well. So it could include ground beef, it could have chicken, it could include a lot of different things. We have a children's backpack program as well. And so right now one of our agency partners actually works on preparing those packages for kids from the backpack standpoint, because you know, a lot of our schools may have that free or reduced lunches, and so this is helps to bridge that gap for them as well. We have Veteran Hunger. We have a food pantry in Tuskegee, and that is the only one in the state that we are aware of. And so we're trying to make sure our veterans receive what they need as well. And I talked a little bit about the mobile pantry. I love this because, again, we're able to, depending on the size, if you get a single pantry, it feeds about 150 people. A full pantry is a full mobile pantry is going to feed about 300 families. And so, and the cost is extremely reasonable for one of those. And in fact, I was talking with a friend of mine who has a business out in Otagoville, and they're like, we want to do a food pantry, mobile pantry. I say, okay, we're going to get you set up. And so, I think actually one of the main things is we have to have concrete for those pallets to be rested on. So the space has to be ideal. We recently launched Campus Hunger, and so when you think about that, you're like, oh, they got food. Yeah, no. Some of these kids are first generation college students. They may have been on scholarship, and we kind of revamped how we've done this. Instead of having a box that they're having to walk across the campus with, they're like, hey, I've just been to the food pantry, right? We've got those simple little drawstring backpacks. We can just put that food right in there, and they're just walking across campus. And so, you know, I know when I was in college, it was a lot of macaroni and cheese and ramen noodles, because I did not eat well when I was, obviously, but I did not eat well. But we partner with 8 community colleges across the state, as well as Alabama State, AUM, South University, and Troy University. And so that's who we are partnering with as well. I'm going to come back to food as medicine. And disaster relief, you know, disaster relief is always top of mind when there's a disaster. And oftentimes we are some of the first that are called. We have a dedicated section in our warehouse just for disaster relief. You know, water is really one of the biggest things. But, you know, folks can donate throughout the year, but we want to be on ready. And we are on ready. In fact, the timing was about the same, but when Macon County was having the pump issues, you know, I don't know if y'all remember that, maybe a couple of weeks ago, we sent a truckload of water to Macon County. So, I mean, and you know, that's what we do. We respond. Food as medicine is fairly new. We're very excited about this. This is where, okay, so individuals who may be going through certain treatments, healthcare professionals have to ask the social determinants of health questions. And one of them is, do you have enough food at home, you know, while you're going through these treatments? And so what we're doing is we're going to be working through a referral system. And so those healthcare providers will give that individual a referral, and we're working through all the details of this, but basically they will be able to request food that they will need when they're going through their treatments and such. We are partnering with the Montgomery Cancer Center, through Baptist Health, Alabama Department of Public Health, Alabama Kidney Foundation, Jackson Hospital, and I think that's it. And so we're partnering with all of them to make this happen. And so part of our excitement about our Publix grant is we are going to be able to purchase refrigerated vehicles, vans. So when they place their order, they'll be able to, we will have delivery twice a week to, you know, all across our service area to get that food to them when they need it. And we're expanding that to also include military families. This is a new spin. Now we do have veteran hunger, but the reality is we have active military families that struggle with food insecurity. And sometimes the assumption is, oh, well, they're this grade and they're this grade and they're this grade. But y'all, there are so many different factors that go in to qualifying for help. And so this is a super new piece. So be on the lookout for that. So we're really excited about that. Anybody have any questions so far? Good. Okay. So serving our communities. I just want to kind of give you guys some statistics. So the purple counties are the ones that we serve directly. But as I mentioned, we serve 35 counties. I could not find data on Russell County. I'm not sure if it's located with another, I don't know, maybe they've lumped it in with that county over in Georgia by Columbus. I don't know. But, so I live in Millbrook. When I first saw these numbers, I'll be honest, I was like, how are there over 12,000 people in my county that are considered food insecure? How is that possible? And you know, when I have conversations with people, and again, these are just reported numbers. This does not include those that don't report. And I know you guys serve a lot of these counties, right? Mm-hmm. And it really it is mind blowing when you start thinking about it. I mean, just in Montgomery County, over 36,000. Watauga, 8,800. I was talking with someone whose spouse works in they live in Montgomery County. Their spouse works in Watauga County, and when I was at a Watauga County event, and the spouse was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That shouldn't happen." I'm like, I know. These numbers should not be as high as they are. So this is what we're fighting for, y'all. This is what we're fighting for. And so we're trying to lessen that line and trying to kind of balance the distribution of the food, because we want to make sure also that we're getting, we don't send so much to one county and not enough to another county. So that's also something that is very important to us as well. So what can you do? How can you get involved? I said, come see us, because really it is believing. And come on a day when, like, we have volunteers there today. And I love our volunteers, because in all honesty, we could not do it without our volunteers. Like, we have volunteers actually making boxes. They come in flat. We're taping them and putting labels on them and stuff like that. But it's so important, because those boxes are being delivered to our agency partners. And I'll give you a full circle moment for me. So, again, I live in Millbrook. So I had volunteered with the Welcome Center, which is the local food pantry in Millbrook. I'd done the food drop, which was the mobile pantry. And earlier this year, when I was at Max, I was working, I coordinated all of volunteerism. And so I said, well, let me go, 12th Day of Giving, I said, let me see what the Heart of Alabama Food Bank has for volunteers. So I went and volunteered in January. And then the day I went, the 908 was there. And they're like very fast. I thought I was just going to be putting canned corn in boxes. They moved to corn and peanut butter. And then it was like, oh, let me just pick up the plastic and break down the cardboard. Because they were like, I was like, okay, they're going too fast for me. But it was great. I ended up making boxes, which was cool. It was fine. Because I knew, I was like, it gave me a whole, gave me all the experience, which was good. And then in April of this year, I had some time, and I said, well, let me just go volunteer at the Welcome Center. I knew that needed volunteers. Wednesday morning, I had some time, so I went. And what were they giving out? Senior boxes. So it was really kind of full circle for me, because I was able to kind of see, this is what we're doing. Yes, we're packing boxes, but we tell people, imagine packing those boxes for your grandparents. Pack it with love, right? And it just really, I was like, wow. That's not to say the boxes we're giving out were the ones I helped pack, but it was just really kind of cool to see that connection, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just, we love our volunteers. We have volunteers pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8:30 to 11:30 each day. We got some openings this Saturday, actually, which is kind of rare. But we love our volunteers. so if you're involved with different clubs, organizations, Ms. Donna, you were talking about your board. If there's something that your board had, maybe, some clubs have service projects that they have to do. Corporate teams, individuals can come. Hosting a food drive is another way, and conducting a food drive, just donating. We have a really easy way. We use Give Butter. It's just a easy way to donate. I mean, donate on our website as well. But we had one person that came, I can't remember what organization he was from. Oh, I think they just came. They were with a church, and there was it was called Go to Know. So they're going to different nonprofits to kind of figure out what they do. That guy's had a birthday. Like the next day, he goes, I want to set up a fund drive. So we set up a fund drive for him. So he said, hey, instead of doing something, please donate to, after he saw what all we did. So we can set that up for people as well. So y'all's close with an impact effort. So this was, Kenny, thank you so much for reaching out about this. And so basically, talking with your clients and saying, hey, there are different ways that you can give back. And so they can choose. These are just some examples of how that 50 per closing can provide 250 meals. We say for every $1 that we raise, that's the equivalent of 5 meals. So, and the $50 provides for a family of 4 for a month. So, and I tell people, we can do so much more with our purchasing power, because if I were to go to Publix and buy $50 worth of groceries, and donate it, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But that dollar is stretched so much further with what we're able to do. So we're excited about this. Is to me so unique, and y'all can kind of help us, just share. I think it's important to kind of know a little bit about it, that you can share with your clients as well. So that's in a nutshell. What questions do y'all have? Did you learn something today you did not know about the Heart of Alabama Food Bank?
I have a question.
Okay.
When you were talking about the disaster relief.
Yes.
Do y'all ever go outside the state to help out, like with the North Carolina and Tennessee and all that?
Well, we may, like that food bank over there was just destroyed over
Right.
there. Through our Feeding America network, if there is a need, yes, they will loop us in and we will deploy whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing, a couple of things I didn't mention. It's about chicken. We have another great partnership with Tyson. So when they're cutting chicken and stuff, there's some miscuts. Perfectly great chicken. It's just not what they want to put on the grocery store shelves, right? So we take that. We have it repackaged into 5-pound packs that we're able to give to our agency partners for their families. You're looking at like big vats of chicken that would probably otherwise have been destroyed. So we're able to meet another need through that with that partnership. And also, I'll just tell you guys this from a workforce development standpoint. We are working with Ingram State to work on some certifications for the justice-involved individuals that are working with us, and to allow them to gain those skills to help them become employable when they get out. So that's another a lot of people don't know that, so I just want to kind of share that. We're working on that right now. So anyway, what else?
You said the veterans was veterans was the only one in the state?
Mm-hmm, at Tuskegee.
Is there, because I know when we were talking about doing all of this, is there an option available now to give to the veterans specifically through what we do with this?
I would say yes. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Just tell us.
Okay.
And if we need to just filter it, hey, this needs to go towards the veterans piece, we can certainly do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would personally love that, because we're a big military town, but my dad was in the Air Force for 24 years, so that's my passion, is military.
Yeah. We have it can be designated however, because for example, there's some, corporations that will do donations, and some will say, hey, we want this designated toward, child nutrition programs or things like that. So yeah, absolutely, we can do that. yeah,
We'll
yeah.
figure out how to get that going too.
Okay.
Is there a reason you only have one in the state?
I don't know, but it's fairly new, and we took the lead on that.
Good job.
Yeah. If y'all know Jessica Horsley, she is our director of strategic initiatives, and that's kind of in her wheelhouse. She's done a great job with that, as well as food as medicine. And then we also have a corporate engagement side. So some of y'all may know Morgan Gad Menifee. She has been with us for probably a little over 2 years, but she is very involved in. We have our Fighting Hunger Giving Trees, and so this is where organizations can have we'll bring out a tinsel tree, and it has like a little snowflake with a QR code where people can donate. They're like vegetables and stuff that are your
That is really cool.
So that's kind of one of our cool little initiatives that she's
That's a
working
cool
on.
project.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, you had questions.
Maybe not specifically about the food bank.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in specifically how our program is gonna work, because you had said our clients would get a form or a thank you.
So this
or
is what this
something.
is, that's
Are they
what
gonna get
that is right
this?
there.
Okay,
So
they're gonna
go-
get this.
And then afterwards.
So do we
we're-
give this to them when we close? or-
No,
No.
that's what I was gonna go over at the very end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
You probably got it covered.
And, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna tell you how it works.
I was
So
closing coming up, I was
the
like,
thought
"Okay,
is
now I
right-
know what I need to do.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me what to do.
Yeah. The thought is on your listing, on your buyer paperwork,
Yes.
this is part of that packet now, right? So when you get with the client,
Okay.
so as
all
you
drop
sign the listing paperwork, as you sign whatever it is, they go ahead and choose hey, provide 250 meals or feed a family of 4, okay?
Yes.
Fill out their information, and then once it closes, turn that in, we'll pull that out of there. Kennedy will then process everything, and then we were working on getting something scheduled where they'll probably receive something in the mail from them, as well as from First Call Realty.
Okay.
Yes.
But they're not actually paying for it, we're
No,
paying
no,
for
no,
it.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no,
'cause
no,
I wanted to
Well,
make
that I was
paying
confused
anything.
because where it says the other dollars.
If they wanna
That's
donate
if they
more.
just
Yeah.
wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we're taking
If
care
they
of that.
wanna
Oh, yeah.
donate more,
Okay.
like,
No,
Okay.
yeah.
But they'll get a thing
If
like
the
it.
client wants to add more to it.
Yeah.
that would be-
They
So
will
we're
get a
basically
thing
gonna
saying
have
like,
some
thank you for your
circle
donation.
How much
Correct.
do we donate, how much is it from us, 50?
Whatever the,
Do what now?
Transaction?
Yeah.
Give that to the client.
No, on the front,
But they will
I've been
get
doing
something
it,
in
I've
the
been
mail
trying it
that'll
a
say,
couple
"Thank you
times,
for your
with some
donation."
specific
Okay.
clients,
It's
kind
coming
of
from
field
you, but
testing
it'll
it.
be made
And what's worked
in
out
their
really well is
name.
at the listing,
And they're
and by the
also
way, this is what
using-
company's about, this is what we
First
do.
Call.
And so by doing business with us,
So-
we also,
Yeah,
every
we're gonna
closing, you get to
cover
choose where this money goes,
letters
feeding
that
250 meals or.
Can go with this,
Yeah.
that explains
So, one or
that
two.
too, like.
And then once the file closes, like you would.
I
do
could-
in
I could type
paper
it up,
normally,
yeah.
Has
just
Carol
stick this in
loaded
the
the new
file,
folder?
we'll grab it out.
It's in
Kennedy will
Dropbox.
start the processing.
But not
I
in
know we
ours.
get them
Getting the
to
mail
the
out to them,
mailbox.
getting the follow-up mailers.
You
doing
just
all
add
the
it to
fun
your
stuff.
Authentisign, like you would any.
Cause it's,
Document.
what we
Any
got set up
addendum
right
or
now, it'll
anything.
be for
But is it
sure the
autofill?
next 2
No,
years.
No.
No,
She
you
said we're
have
gonna
to.
have to upload it, we're
It's not,
gonna,
I don't know.
we're gonna have to upload
We
it.
never even did,
I'm like,
like how y'all had,
She needs to work on that.
like how y'all had that,
They didn't have
over here
templates.
We're very
between
fortunate.
Carol,
Yeah,
they
like-
didn't have templates
like we
that.
never even had templates, so to me, I'm like,
circle it back around.
Look better, ain't it?
Oh my God, y'all are gonna be so spoiled.
That could be in the suggestion box for Lyle.
What's that? What's
Oh,
that?
she's being a spoiled little brat.
I'm being spoiled.
Well, he said.
I said, what? You mean I have to get the documents out of Dropbox? and put them in there?
Okay, all right, hold on, everybody. Hold the pitchforks, hold the torches. Hold on,
don't ask
hold on,
about
hold on.
anything about
Yeah, so,
Authentisign.
yeah, so very
You guys are wrong
quickly, yeah,
anyways.
we still email it in, still do all the stuff, right, yeah. But like, and if you wanna fill this out for them, I was just making a suggestion that so how I've been doing this and field testing this so far, because I've done this with a couple clients.
Yeah.
When I'm on a listing presentation.
I wanna do
don't-
this in person for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You print this out, but like I go in there and say, hey, we're really big back on giving back to the community, giving involved the community that supports us. Okay, so listing buyer presentation at the end. And so by doing business with us, this is no cost to you, right? If you would just circle which one you'd like to do. Would you like to do 250 meals, or would you like to feed a family of 4 for a month? And that again, I remind them it's no cost to you. It's just something we do to where the client has choice on where we give back at.
Right.
That's what
And
we
it
do.
involves them.
It's
Yeah.
involving them, and
Yeah.
they love, every
Yeah.
person I've talked to absolutely
Love, they
loves
have
this.
to love it.
And it's-
Why
I mean,
not?
it's a great, it brings validity to what the soul of the company's about, right?
Right.
That's really what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
so,
really-
so with all that, you fill out this information, okay? And then when it closes, make sure it's in the file, that we get it, we will grab that out of file, And we have Kennedy, you know, she's got more stuff to do, so but she's gonna start processing all of that. And we're also getting up follow-up cards in the mail with them. One will be from Heart of Alabama, they will get on the email list there. Also from First Call for sure 2 years. We budgeted enough for 2 years on following up with them, and hopefully we'll expand on that and keep them involved and keep them, letting them know that we're continuing to go. As we do, some of us, we wanna do, we'll have volunteer events in the future. I think it'd be great to get all of us on a picture, saying that we're involved in the community. Any other type of donations we do, we remind them once a quarter.
My church is going out there and like pack boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But we got a food drive
Lyle,
coming up
maybe you
right
can
now.
schedule a
Alabama.
tour for some of us to go out
I think
there.
that'd be great.
Yeah,
We can
if you do
definitely
that,
set
like,
that up on
I was
our-
gonna do it myself, but if you could do it for the company, that'd be
Yeah, I
great.
think that'd be great.
Well, one of the things on your calendar for the end is
We're work-
to all of us volunteer, so
Yeah,
that will be.
we're working on
coming.
2025
Yeah.
calendar, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know it's been,
We're
I
hoping
know
to
you
make
guys
it
are getting
December.
bombarded with invitations that you're not used to,
I
so
love
I'm trying to
volunteering.
ease back on all the stuff, listening, right? But we're working on 2025, so we're, if you guys want, you have an opportunity to get
I love
involved,
that.
so.
So that way
Yeah.
we can help
Is that an
them.
option for
I
the
would love
clients? They have to do the
Next year.
form, is it mandatory or
Next
is
year.
it,
This
wait,
year.
You
wait.
could
It
do,
doesn't
they can
cost
say, hey, I
us.
don't wanna help feed hungry people, they could absolutely do
Then we
that.
tell them, then we
should say
tell
that.
them it's
We should
not
say
any cost on you,
Yeah.
the company. If they don't want to circle, they don't want to give information out because once you get their email, like, you know, people may just send all the information they don't
Don't put
want
their
it.
email on there,
Or
just tell, you know what, if they don't wanna. put
Lily,
it in
tell them they
there-
can opt out when they first get the email from Heart of Alabama.
Yeah, anonymous.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some weirdos out there, yeah.
Yeah, there's
but-
gonna be some, what do you call them, Scrooges?
Yeah.
what do you think, like, on the
Yeah.
want to say? You know,
Well, I think you can tell them
section.
too, they don't sell their information. They're not gonna sell their private
No,
information.
this is just to where the clients feel like they have a part in this. It's not just, you know, and that was the whole idea behind this, is that the client feels like they're involved in what we're doing. That's the idea behind it. Yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cause your big push for the big quarterly donations has not gotten the
Oh,
client
they
involved
all
in.
do. I like
Because
it.
it's great to say, it's great to say we donated $5,000. It's great to say that,
I like it.
but the client's like.
If you're doing this in their name, that's different, yeah.
Exactly, like, you get what I'm saying, like, it's not
Yeah.
like, you know, I think it'd be cool to have a board of like, this closing did 250 meals, and now like we can do a monthly or a quarterly thing, cause this will be a monthly thing, like we will gather them all up for the month closings, and it'll probably be a 2-week process to get them into you guys, and so there'll be a delay as far as when they get the cards and stuff, but it's a great way to say what we do on a per closing basis, not that we just closed a house, but we fed 10,000 people this month, or whatever it is.
Thank you to our
That's a big
clients.
And yeah, well, because without them, that's the whole point, without them, we
Do
wouldn't be
this
able to
part.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want them to see that part, just cut that part off.
Yeah, oh, I'm not worried.
Cause all this information will be in the folder whenever I need to.
And it's
Oh, I'm not
super
worried.
important to me for the follow-up, to let them know, get them card in the mail, that way they don't forget what they did, they don't forget what we're about, so.
And we did what we said.
And we did what we said we were going to do.
You
Yeah.
sending a call, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a big
Yeah,
difference.
so, but we're working on getting all the artwork and stuff gathered up with that for the first release, and then we'll continue, and once it goes back, we'll have kind of in phases, no different than you guys follow up with clients on a quarterly basis. We're gonna do the same thing, except from just a give back moment, so.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Very quickly, if you would, impromptu, if, impromptu, let's pretend you're a real estate agent, okay? Let's pretend you're a real estate agent. Yeah, let's role play for a minute, yeah.
Big pretending, huh?
Remember all the laws.
Yeah.
I would like to know your high points on what you would like what you think is, because I heard 1 in 5 children.
Yes.
1 in 7 in the community in our Tri-County area. So what else, like, what would the spill kind of be, like a quick little 1 minute, 2 minute?
yeah.
This, honestly, this right here is a good,
That's
has good
it?
talking points.
Okay.
There you
This
go.
All right,
summarizes
well, I'm gonna
it
add
really
this, will
great.
you send that to me in a PDF?
Yeah, I sure can.
And so there's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Connie, is that what you were meaning?
Well, no, but it'll work.
Oh, she's just,
Yeah, I can come up with
Yeah, we can
something.
escape, but yes, but
Okay.
it's like have it.
Yeah,
Elevator.
yeah, I can send that to you. Yeah.
No,
No, just a personal, just to cover, like, hey, yeah.
why, what we're doing and why we're
Yeah,
doing
First
it.
Call Realty, this is, yeah.
Why, on that, she wants a cover letter of what we're
Can we
doing
say
and why
like
we're
a
doing it.
Cover letter, if we could
I
make
can
a
do it,
cover
right?
letter.
Oh, like
To
a
go with
quick
the
little-
form.
And then it'd be like a packet, like we can have cover letter, close with an impact, and then this.
The information.
Yeah, kinda like
Kind of
what we're
like
doing and
purpose
what.
behind the-
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
What and
I
why.
think, is that, okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now.
Kim
I'll
just
work
said
on
she'd
that.
write it, by the way. Y'all didn't hear that.
I mean, you wanna write it, just send it
Yeah,
to me,
Tim.
by all means.
We forgot to
For
change that smart
approval.
sheet.
Open your mouth, won't you?
That is a good
You
idea.
gonna tell me you gonna do something I'm gonna argue with you about?
No, and I think, and honestly, those statistics, I mean, even by county, I mean, I wouldn't do all that, but
Yeah.
if you go to, hafb.org,
What'd you say again, I'm sorry?
I was saying the statistics, let me pull it up and I'll show that. That way y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about, because, this information is from what's called Map the Meal Gap. It has a ton more information, but I just kind of like.
Oh, I saw that
condensed-
at the bottom of one of your screen, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Blake, can we get that back up on there? Is she gonna put something up there?
She has to plug in her computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
pull
okay.
this up. So, hold on.
I get them.
Grandma gonna jump right in here.
Brick and makes.
Dante would do a lot.
Cause I love him so much.
Just a second. Hang on, my hotspot, hold on. Personal hotspot.
Well, she enjoyed that presentation as well.
She did.
Yeah, food.
What were you saying about her taking a nap?
Yeah, right?
This is too much fun for Frances. She is not
Last
gonna
time
sleep.
too, it was during that time.
How many
I
of
like
that
there at this place.
Enough.
you got? Rebecca, how many of those you got?
Do you wanna log in 2 hours, would that be easier for you? Okay.
It got there kind of fast.
Okay.
Just gotta mix it up.
But thank you. Offering.
It went really good.
Oh, I hope you don't have to do that thing again. Oh, there we go.
It's
Okay.
really busy. I was like.
All right, so it's trying. There we go. Okay. So,
Not big of a house.
oops, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so, learn about hunger in Alabama. So you can actually drill it down even a little bit further. So you can just load in. So it just kind of, you can just hover over each county. Yeah. So, the average meal cost in Montgomery County is $3.40. The additional dollars to actually meet all the food needs is over $19 million.
If they ask, is this like updated annually or how much?
This is,
How often is it updated?
so this data, the data I pulled, the most recent data I had was from 22.
Okay,
So it's probably,
not-
it's
it's
pro,
full that, okay.
well, but this,
Oh,
the
yeah,
most
it's
recent,
current,
that
as best
is
you can
current,
get.
yes,
Yeah,
it's as current as we can get.
Yep.
And so, yes, this is pulling from Feeding America, which is our overarching,
Gotcha.
where we fall under.
Some people like to know that,
Yeah,
So you don't get
absolutely.
any federal funding or state funding?
We do have some grants.
Okay.
We do have a good amount of grants. And of course, with USDA, we do have some different funds that do come through. That's in a different, and I'll just say this, I haven't been there but almost 5 months, so I'm still learning some things. So I'm still learning, but yes, we do have some funding. Let me go back to this. You can even, drill it down even by district, when, by congressional districts. I mean, this one is quite informative. But back to our, the giving trees, I talked about the giving trees. There's just so many different things. Oh, find help. This is another thing. So if you do have some families that are like, I'm in a situation, because here the other thing is, and this is a true story. I was at a food pantry and they were saying, just today we had an elderly couple came in. He was 84, she's 80. His medication went from $750 a month to $1,200 a month. Now let me just ask y'all, They're on a fixed income. I mean, if you lost that, I'm not a math person, over 400 bucks, right? I'm great with people, not so much with the numbers, okay? But listen, I think it's about 400. But in all seriousness, if your budget was $400 less, what are you doing?
They have to make choices.
They have to make choices. And, you know, and some of them are hard. Some of them are very hard. That's the reality that we're living in now.
I actually had to move my mother-in-law in because she had to make those choices.
Yeah.
And I took care of her till she died because she couldn't buy food and medicine.
Right.
So,
Right. And like I said, we do have those senior, I mean, we have those 2 senior programs
That's
to
why
help
it's
it.
important. So,
Right.
I think a lot more people are affected than we know.
I know.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know, it'd be tough for me to ask for help, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
you know,
exactly. And what the executive director was saying, she's like, this couple just showed up. They're like, we have never had to ask for help in our life. We've always worked. We've always been able to do what we needed to do, but we need help. And she's like, come on, let's go.
that's good.
And, you know, and I would just encourage you, wherever you live, I would say, you know, connect, even stop by and volunteer within a local pantry to see what it's like, because those are your neighbors. Those are your
I work
neighbors.
with the one in Lee County.
Yes.
I live in Auburn.
Yes.
It's eye-opening.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
church does one.
do they? Oh,
Are you guys partnered with Central Alabama Aging Consortium? Because I had a lot of elderly clients who would call me about medication, and that was their biggest issue. They couldn't buy food.
yeah. No, but a lot of times we'll refer people to the 211 to also, if they're, you know, but we will also refer them to a pantry,
Okay.
a local pantry as well. But this gives you, this map gives you an idea of where people can find food across the state. So,
That's on your website.
yes, it is. It's under the Food Finder. And so you would just kind of click, you know, and it will just zero in and let you know where some of those agency partners are, and they'll list them right here. So, yeah.
So the local pantries, there are like some pre-qualifications for the people coming in, aren't there? Because like my parents, I know the people who run the Elmore County one, but they were always like, well, we have extra food, but your parents can't have it because they live in Altonga County.
Oh, yeah, they'll serve, they're only gonna serve those within that county.
Yeah, and the income limit to get food is pretty low. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just appalling that there are that many people who don't, you know, are in that income level.
Right, yeah.
My parents did not qualify, and they don't have much money.
Well, you know, and going back
They
to the
just don't
going back to what I was talking about with the military families, that's the thing, because, you know, military families have that housing allowance, and they have, you know, all these other things, but then when they're looking to qualify for SNAP and things like that, they're like, oh, you make too much money because of those other allowances. But it's not congruent. And so, yeah, that's tough. That's really tough.
And especially when you note that that's just what's reported. 'Cause
Right.
I know the food box he did out in front of the office, it's shocking to me, but I think it's because it's private, it disappears overnight. No one knows.
There's a couple in downtown Prattville.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, that food
Because
goes.
we're constantly refilling because
Yeah.
I think it is a private and it's an embarrassing and
Yeah.
so you don't know the real numbers.
Yeah, and I think, you know, and everything we do when we're talking about serving our neighbors is with dignity. We want everybody to be, the dignity is a huge piece for us as well.
There, by the grace of God, there go I. It could be me.
Yeah, it really could. I mean,
Yeah.
it really could. I mean, another family, they had a very traumatic situation in their family. And so you had two, you know, the mom and dad were working. The mom ended up staying home because they were having to deal with so much, ended up homeschooling. And it was like from April to like October, it's just like less and less and less. And they're like, oh, now we're finding ourselves in need. But what's beautiful is that they are now serving those. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just really beautiful to see. And our agency partners, and I know, you know, East Alabama does a phenomenal job as well. You know, those agency partners are doing great work. We're helping to get it there. but we can't do it without other people. And so, we're just so thankful that y'all reached out and said, hey, we'd love to partner, so thank y'all. Thank y'all. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
I'm the member involved with the MACOA, so
Uh-huh.
every year, annually, we have a kind of like party event hosting the international taste.
Uh-huh.
So we have like the dancing show, the fashion show, all the singing, dance, all the group put a program together.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes we have them. I remember we have even in one of the members' house of the where is that? Off the Bear Road. There's a big area.
Okay.
Was that Monticello? So one time in somebody's backyard around the pool, we have that, and then most time we have them in the Southern Home Garden, and so that we invite the senators, mayor came back then. It's like the mayor is Todd Strange. He came very often, so we have that, and every time we do get a lot of fun, and then they kind of get a lot of meals on the wheels, going. And I was wondering if y'all have something like similar, like once a year, or sometimes hold the event just for the charity, event.
That's a great question. We don't, but we've had some talks about doing something, not a gala, but just something, to kind of, fundraise and just bring awareness to stuff. And the thing is, and we have to, from a fundraising standpoint, we're focused on the 12 counties. So like East Alabama, they have their own fund, all of the different ones. But yeah, we kind of toyed with the idea. The Community Food Bank of Alabama, which is located in Birmingham, they have just like one big building right now, and so they have a gala, and they have like drapes and chandeliers and all that stuff. We'd love to be able to do that. Ours are all like, we don't have that kind of space. Now we do have an 8,000 square foot freezer.
We ain't partying in there.
I know, it's very cold in there, but that is a great idea. We have really kind of talked about doing something similar to that. And we have, outside of our food pantries, I will say that because you mentioned Meals on Wheels. So there are some organizations that have residential feeding programs, and so we partner with them. So they are able to get food through us as well. So, and Meals on Wheels is actually one of those. So, yeah. So, very good. Anything else?
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it so much.
Off the subject, but kind of. What happened to that bar downtown Montgomery where you went in? It was the ice room, and you went in with your. They provided the fur coats for you.
Are they not open anymore?
I don't know.
The alley.
Yeah, down the alley.